Hey everybody, how's it going? This is the Spokane Story. I'm going to do a reading from my novel. It's about father and son meth cooks that live on the street of Spokane, Washington. Interesting. All right. There is a beauty to the cracked asphalt pavement, to the lonely, abandoned apartment buildings, to the squalor of dimly lit alleys. It is a Spartan industrial aesthetic, rarely acknowledged by those who have not embraced it, and rarely seen still by those exposed at night to its dangerous secrets and unforeseen hazards. Ah, yeah. Prologue, Walmart, Sprague Avenue, Thursday, November 20th, 2014. 3 p.m. Pete Scarborough and his father, Amos, slowly traipsed down the aisle towards checkout with their shopping cart. Inside was a baby stroller in a box, the cheapest, biggest one the store had left on the shelf, though admittedly the stroller had been emptied and discarded from the container. Their rudimentary chemistry supplies had since run low. It was time to restock on some of the more essential items, at least the items that weren't kept behind the counter. Batteries, camping fuel, a 3-gallon jug of porch cleaner, automotive starter fluid, distilled water, a pool pH testing kit, lye, those kinds of things. And then there was the other stuff they throw in for the hell of it. Cans of soup, canned corned beef, canned chunk light tuna in oil, yellow rubber gloves, and some tins of cat food. Why do I got to be doing this again? Pete complained to the old man. Because we're in this together, boy. Oh, yeah? Oh, yes. In for a gram, in for a kilo, that's what I say. The old man grunted and beckoned Pete to pick up the pace with the cart. This cart you picked is a piece of shit with its wobbly-ass wheel, said Pete. All you ever do is complain, protested the old man. Pete suddenly stopped pushing the cart. A couple walking behind them accidentally bumped into Pete. They apologized and continued on. Whilst Pete stood there, his father watched him with a sense of irritated bemusement. You think they're on to us? Pete asked. Don't think so. I think we're in the clear so far. And for that matter, I don't think they give 2 fucks about what we're doing. In the clear, Pete huffed, looking about the store nervously. That's a good one. We're not out the door yet. When you think of a better idea to get all this stuff at once, go ahead and tell me. I'm all fucking ears. If it weren't for this little trick, we'd be out of business before the crows could shit at sundown. Now shut up and try to act normal for once. Can you do that, huh, son? Do you think it's possible with all that goddamn dope you're on? Yeah, kids these days, shit, condescendingly remarked the old man. You don't know your ass from a hole in the ground. Fuck off, son, before I choose to put some hurting on you. They finished the gathering of inventory and thereupon stood in line behind a morbidly obese, androgynous land whale in a disgustingly overstretched purple t-shirt with a cart packed to the brim with 24 packs of Diet Pepsi. The next few minutes painfully went crawling by. Then suddenly a tinge of fear crept up Pete's spinal column, striking each vertebrae with lightning bolts of erratically disconcerting activity. Had one of the store dicks made him, made them? Calm down, boy, said the old man through the corner of his mouth. He uttered a stale platitude from Alcoholics Anonymous. Easy does it. I should have took a Xanax. I offered to, but you said no. Shh yourself. Don't you shush me. I'm your father. The clerk greeted them, an Acme vulgaris-ridden twerp whose name tag proclaimed his title as a customer service associate whose name was Philip. Hi, folks. Are we doing well today? Asked Philip with his mouth full of goofy, uneven teeth braced with metal and periwinkle blue rubber bands. Oh, it's about as good as she's gonna get, said the old man. That's good. Did you find everything all right? We sure did, said Pete, looking away, not meeting Philip's gaze as if he was the Medusa of Greek mythology, or basilisk, or cockatrice. Oh, the door, the exit to escape, it seemed but an unladen swallow's flight away. The box containing the stroller, quote unquote, was positioned with the UPC carefully facing towards the pricing laser. Or towards the register. That way all Philip needed to do was lightly go over it with the pricing laser. Little did the Scarboroughs know that the jug of hydrochloric acid, the porch cleaner, had sprung a leak at the juncture of the cap and bottleneck quite some time previous to that exact moment. The old man had briefly thought that something in the air was off. It smelled somewhat akin to rotten eggs befouled by time. The old man mistakenly attributed it to his son's consumption of an entire Zips Wrangler, a very large and very Western burger, if there ever was one, earlier that afternoon. While Pete did not notice the smell at all because his mucous membranes were fried from doing hot rails, a practice to do meth whereupon one snorts a line with a glass or metal tube heated with a butane torch. With that in mind, the father and son team continued unabated and unmolested through the checkout process. That is, until the bottom fell out of the box on the way out the door, right in front of the elderly greeter. Acid spilled everywhere, melting shoes, dissolving everything in its path. Boy, I told you to make sure those caps were on tight. The old man yelled with pathological scorn and disdain. I thought I did. The greeter, an old man that was much older than the old man, tried weakly to stop them, saying, Hey, you two, where do you think you're all going? Fuck off, snarled the old man as he gave the shopping cart a quick burst of acceleration and he barreled through the greeter. The two meth cooks, father and son, made their escape. The swiftness of their departure surprised everybody that was working on the shift that night. To the general manager, they later related, I don't know, it was like they were there and then they were gone, just like that. Gone in a cloud of acid. Well, why didn't you catch them? Asked the flustered, balding manager. Well, they look dangerous, replied Philip. I mean, what do you expect? We only get paid minimum wage here. Well, did you at least get the plate numbers off the security footage? We would've, but there wasn't tags on there to begin with. And that fucking RV looked like half the pieces of shit rolling around Spokane. Jeez, what'd they take off with? Maybe $150, $200 worth of camping supplies? Batteries, the acid, obviously. Oh, said the manager, scratching his chrome dome anxiously. Must have been for cooking meth. Seems that way. Well, then you were better off not going after them. Sweet Jesus, those nutty bastards are liable to do anything. Goddamn dopers. You're right about that, Phil. Now, get back to work before I have to dock you an hour. Next chapter. Chapter 1, Pete's last day in lockup. Spokane County Jail, Malin Street, Friday, October 10th, 2014. Hey, Pete. Hey, Pete, said Hondo. Wake up, man. It's your last day. Pete was still groggy from the previous evening's dose of psych meds. He stirred a bit and rolled over on his left side, mumbling lightly, incoherently from the top bunk in the 8x12 concrete block cell painted with crackled neutral eggshell white. The overhead lights, partially covered with newspaper pages adhered with toothpaste, they had been on since 5 a.m., since the guard's shift change. Despite the excitement one could imagine from the possibilities that lay ahead, Pete was not altogether ready to take life by the horns and be back in society, back in reality, in essence, back on the street wherein darkness and temptation lie. There, man, come on, buddy boy, said Hondo. It's almost time for head count. I think we got sugar snaps and grits for breakfast today. Moaned Pete. I ain't in the mood. Fuck those slimy-ass grits. Oh, hey, what's the matter? The world outside seeming more grim than it did yesterday, ain't it? Don't worry, you'll be fine. It'll just take a little while to get acclimated to the real world. It happens to the best of us. You'll either make it or you won't. No point ruminating and getting yourself all worked up about it. What happens is gonna happen regardless. Pete groaned and sat up on the same bunk he'd spent the majority of the past year occupying against his will. He wiped the thin layer of crust from the corners of his eyes and looked around what had become essentially his home. And what a depressing home it was, wall to wall, covered in penciled graffiti, from Pete as well as inmates long past and forgotten. He would not miss the gigantic, crudely drawn vagina plastered across the ceiling. For a year he had wondered, how the fuck did that even get up there? It was signed Punani, Montana, in staggered, ill-proportioned letters of varying size. Pete swung his legs over the side of the bed and slid down to take a quick leak. Hondo politely turned away whilst Pete finished his morning business. The first thing I'ma do, said Pete as he zipped up the front of his Orange County issue jumpsuit, the first thing I'm gonna do when I get out of jail is smoke a goddamn cigarette. Yes, I'm gonna go to the store, buy a pack, buy a 40, and then go get some weed. Now, it's nice that girlfriend of yours kept putting money on your books all the time. Shit, my old lady, she never did that. Nah, she just run off and fucked some other guy till I came back. Yeah. Well, I guess my point is at least she came back. Yeah, right. Now, a lot of motherfuckers around here, man. When they get out, they got nothing. Not a goddamn thing. But look at you. You got something concrete. Something physical to keep you grounded while you go on and make your transition from this shit back into the gen pop of the regular world again. Because this shit we've been eating, it ain't the real world. It's a falsehood. A Darwinian fabrication of humanity created by the government to restrain those deemed dangerous and uncontrollable. Only the strong survive, etc. It's a society that chaotically reestablishes itself through alpha male dick waving. It's Lord of the Flies, only with more loose tobacco and deadly hard narcotics smuggled in through anuses, or boofed if you want to get cute about it. Just like you, Hondo, to the philosophizing first thing in the damn morning. I barely caught a word coming running out of that fucking loud mouth of yours. Well, I hope that brain retains some of that knowledge I've tried as an elder to impart on you. Because if you're just gonna go out and do the same thing that landed you in here in the first place, what was the point of leaving? What's the point of leaving? To get the fuck out and raise some hell? Maybe get a job somewhere doing, I don't know, something productive? Maybe construction? Who knows? I haven't been out of jail and off of probation at the same time since before I turned 18. This'll be a whole mess of fun. I bet it will. Meanwhile, I'll keep your bunk warm for you, supposing you'll be back by the end of 2-3 months tops. Heh. Fuck you, Hondo. Suck my dick. Goddamn little peckerwood. Who knows, maybe in time I'll even miss you, you haggard-looking, stank-ass son of a bitch. On second thought, no, I won't. Never mind. Pete slipped on his ill-fitting shoes that were placed rather tidily under the bottom bunk and went over to the facsimile of a window, a small blurred panel at the back of the cell. The same panel he watched 4 seasons go by through. All one could ascertain from gazing through this pointless turned-over rectangular portal was whether it was day or night or not. Yes, sir, Hondo, I'm getting out of this nightmare finally, and tonight I'm gonna really raise some hell. It's been long overdue, said Pete. Fuck this place and fuck the shit stem. Uncle Sam can suck these nuts. Laughed Pete, grabbing at his crotch as would a half-assed Marky Mark. So you're gonna go and see your old man then, huh? Hell no! Fuck that guy, the worthless steaming sack of crap. Now I'm sure you'll run into him sooner or later. And when you do, tell him the old man I said hi and tell him I'll be out in 90. You'll do that standing on your head. I sure will. Say, Peter, you think you can leave me that Walkman of yours when they let you out? Yeah, I guess the thing ain't got no reception as it is. And maybe you can get me an Ativan when meds come around? Now you're pushing it, you old fart. You can't blame a man for trying now, can you? No, I guess not. Being released from custody was a process, and that process took all day. Pete spent that time picking paint off the wall and offering goodbyes to a few of the other inmates, though don't get the idea that any of them were his friends. Sure, he knew a lot of them, though they weren't his bros or anything. One thing they were, though, was potential customers. So he made it a point to obtain numbers where fortuitous. Jail sure was an excellent place to make contacts. Boy, howdy. Pete got held up, though. 4 hours passed, and nobody had come to pick him up. They would not let him out unless someone came to get him. That person was Sherry. She only lived about 1.5 miles from the jail, which was on the north side of Spokane, just across the river. It did not surprise Pete. Sherry always had a case of chronic lateness. Her high school guidance counselor put it differently. Mr. Smeddings repeatedly used to say, "You've got a serious case of chronic tardiness." Nobody liked the sound of that. Chronic lateness is a hallmark of methamphetamine abuse, something Sherry had no issue at all admitting to. Upon being confronted, she would oftentimes say something to the tune of, "Yeah, I'm always fucking late, and yeah, I'm fucking high as shit. I don't give a fuck who knows. I'm high right now. I just smoked with my mom. She gives it to me. You got a problem with that? Motherfucker, no one else does. Why should you?" Sherry, she was a real catch. Nevertheless, Pete and Sherry had been hopelessly entangled romantically for many a year. They were both horrible for each other, but so far, love had conquered all. Still, that did not stop Pete from cursing her name when she was late picking him up. Immediately upon release, Pete began to fall through the cracks of society once again, and of course that was no surprise to anyone. The night he got out, Pete and Sherry both got wasted, full-blown shit-hammered, at her mom's house on Boone Street in Felony Flats, West Central. Yes, though while Sherry was out at the store fetching more canned butane, Pete said he was too paranoid to go out in public. Pete forgot himself. Yes, young Master Scarborough thought it would be a great idea to start pissing on the carpet right in front of old Geraldine while she watched Law and Order Special Victims Unit Iced Tea Edition, which is what she called it. Wasted no time in there fucking up, that boy did. Pete! Spoke Geraldine, stammering somewhat with anxious uncertainty. But boy, you've got to be kidding me. She slowly got up off the couch, trembling under her own voluminous bulk. She lumbered over towards Pete, adjusting her glasses and then readjusting them again in morbid disbelief. Are you? Get the fuck out of my house! Screeched Geraldine with the Swiss cheese meth facial. She chased him out of the house and thereafter through the doorway and onto the porch with an unspeakably filthy spaghetti mop. Pete ducked and dodged, laughing madly at her failed attempts. He taunted her further, flipping her off with both middle fingers and sticking his white, fleshy tongue out. His drunken master alacrity did not last long, though. When Pete went to descend the small wooden staircase off the porch, he fell and slid down it like a slip and slide. He was so drunk, though, that he shrugged it off, utterly ignorant of the damage incurred until he felt a trickle of blood drip down his back and into the lining of his boxer shorts. Even so, Pete chose to remain in the yard. And as such, Geraldine remained on the porch, continuously swinging the mop in an uneven, jerky figure-8 motion, threatening to call the police. Don't think I won't think twice about having your ass locked up tonight, Pete. Fine, I'll go, muttered Pete, drunkenly staggering around the mortifyingly unkempt front yard full of branches and decaying lawn debris. He was unaware of it, but he stepped in dog shit more than once. If that's how you want to treat people, muttered Pete. Sloppily said Pete, pointing an accusing finger at his girlfriend's mother. How you want to treat people? How you treat people? Fuck! Something to that effect. Go back to Airway Heights and tell them you need to go back in. 'Cause you ain't done yet, you nasty little bastard, yelled Geraldine, climbing slowly down the porch, supporting herself on the dingy handrail. I wasn't even at Airway fucking Heights, Pete retorted. Who gives a shit which or what jail yous was rotting in? I said get out. She swung and caught Pete in the face with the mop. It was an action which provided the impetus Pete found necessary before taking his leave. It was on that night, after a long and pointless circular walk around the city, that Pete finally located the Odyssey. Out in a desolate parking lot nearby the Department of Social and Human Services on Maple Street and Boone. Pete hesitated for a myriad of minutes as he struggled with his own inward debate. Do I, or don't I? Should I, or shouldn't I? Eventually, the old man stumbled out with Hitler the cat in tow. The old man exhibited a treacherous frown of disdain opposite of Pete, whom swayed with the faintest quivering grin. How's it going, old man? Asked Pete. Shitty. My back feels like hell every waking fucking moment, he said, rubbing his lumbar area. So, they finally let you out, eh? Yes, sir. Fucking idiots. Yeah, I know, right? Can't believe it's been a whole year already. Well, you know how time flies when you're having fun, Dad. So I guess you're gonna want to come in. Sure, I think we have a lot of catching up to do. You're damn right, son, said the old man as he turned and beckoned for Pete to follow. Say, he said, I feel stupid for even asking, but you got a job? Nope, Pete said as he entered through the rickety screen door and closed it shut behind him. Making sure to slide the latch and lock it tight. Not at all. Now make sure you lock that door behind you. I already did, complained Pete. Are you sure? The old man asked. He turned slightly and looked over his shoulder to visually confirm that Pete had indeed done what was said. Yes, God damn it, Dad. You're already starting. Bah, that's just how the old man is. It's how my brain's wired. Deal with it or go fuck yourself. I'll deal with your shit the way I feel like. And if that means I gotta slap you around a little, then so be it. I ain't playing no more. Is that so? Yeah. Sounds like it got a little bit harder while yous was in lockup. Maybe I did. Guess that means I shouldn't fucks with you as much. Might be a good idea, old man. You know, I was just reading about this way to make old Pana out of my Percocet. No shit. Yeah, I was just gonna need a little bit of blue palladium. What the hell is that? I don't know, said the old man, shrugging. Some crazy shit. And then, after that, officially, it was on. All bets were off, and whoever had a problem with it, well, fuck 'em. To hell and back. Thank you. It's 2 chapters from The Spokane Story, my unpublished novel. And keep your eyes open for the next one, because it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, thank you very much. Have a good day.